Hey, peace and blessings, you guys. Jay here, and I want to talk to you guys today about the third house in astrology and what the third house deals with. And so, with that being said, let's get into it. And so, the third house is also known as the house of communication for the most part. So we know it's that, or at the best, the house that deals with our ability to communicate, interact with others. But it doesn't only deal with communication; it also deals with short distance traveling, our immediate surroundings, immediate environment, our siblings, and also it also deals with education and teaching too. But for the most part, it's the house that likes to deal with our familiar surroundings. So yeah. Now mentioning all that, it's not a coincidence that the third house, which don't forget every house rules over a sign. It's not a coincidence that the third house rules over the sign Gemini. And what is Gemini? It's also the third house in the zodiac, but more so, what kind of sign is it? It's an air sign, a mutable air sign. And what does mutable air means for the most part? Mutable air simply means being open to, being flexible and adaptable to um, other other people's ways of communicating, being intellectual, logical, rational, and analytical. And if not other people's ways, also like and if not other people's ways, also being adaptable to different ways of thinking within ourselves, because we may have curiosity for one to have different ideas and different thoughts, and getting into different things. So yeah, it's not a coincidence that these two energies are not a coincidence that it's not a coincidence that these two energies tend to go um, with one another, and that's because the third house rules over Gemini. So yeah, and then let's not forget that Gemini is ruled by the planet Mercury. And what does the planet Mercury deal with? It is the air planet. It deals with our rational mind, our thinking mind, our intellectual mind. Our mind has to be logical, and get all the details so things can be analyzed properly, and then organized properly and bring about structure and all that. So yeah, and then it also deals with being relatable. So yeah. So with Mercury and Gemini in third house, it's all connected. There's always in every of these houses there's always like that, there's always like that trinity. So yeah, it's nothing different here. But now let's actually move on from that and talk about like placement really quickly, and say with placements, I like to use my own placements, but sometimes but then again I make it easy, so I like to use them for fun. Say like say you got let's say you got the Jupiter here, which is like which is actually rules over the opposing house. But say you got the Jupiter in the third house, and with Jupiter in the third house, when it comes to things dealing with your environment, surroundings, siblings, and all that, or short distance traveling, and your communication and teachings. You can really get third house and ninth house mixed up at times if you don't see the differences. But yeah, anyway, like I say, with Jupiter here in the third house, you either well, naturally, how it goes, you're gonna like to be expansive a lot in this area when it comes to things dealing with your intellect and communication. And it also deals with curiosity. We know that Mercury also does. We know that Mercury and Gemini also deal with curiosity as well. So we can look at that in this placement as well. And it comes to things that you're curious about. Um, you're gonna um, you're gonna want to expand on those so that you can gain wisdom. Hold on, let me go back a little bit. When we're talking about we're talking about your third house, deals with your surroundings and all that, and your environment and your education teachings. A lot of the times you're going to want to expand on that so you can gain all the wisdom and knowledge from it. And then, um, you know, that's like one way of looking at it. And then another way of looking at it is like when it comes to things dealing with and this can also be for the stellium too. But anyway, and a stellium means when you have like three or more planets in one house. When you have three or more planets in one house, that means you got a lot of energy going on there, and you're very familiar with issues going on in that house. But yeah, now another way to look at Jupiter in the third house is that you can also be very, wise and knowledgeable when it comes to things dealing with, your communication. When it comes to things dealing with communication and the surroundings and all that. So yeah. And then say you put that Jupiter energy in like the sign a Libra, you put Jupiter in like the sign of Libra into the third house. Yeah, you're gonna have that wisdom there, but the way you're gonna express it when it comes to things dealing with um, your surroundings, your environment, you're gonna do it through that Libra energy, which is and initiating the communication, and then initiating logic and being relatable and all that. So yeah, but when I get to the videos where I talk about planets and the signs and houses, it's going to be much more in depth, more organized, and more fun. So just take these as like brief introductions to like the houses and all that, because that's the main thing I'm trying to get to here. So, or do over. Y'all know what it is. Anyway, everything's a learning experience, so I ain't even gonna stress over it. But yeah, you guys, this is my take on the third house in astrology. This is my take on the third house and or Gemini and astrology. If you liked it, feel free to give a like. You know, and got any if you got any questions you want to ask, feel free to ask me. You got any criticism or feedback, you know, I greatly appreciate that and be open to that as well. But if not, it is what it is. I still appreciate you guys for watching. I still appreciate you guys to watch it and just listen anyway. Cause yeah. Anyway, but until the next video, which will be really soon after this one, in the fourth, which we're going to talk about the fourth house. I'll see y'all then. So yeah. Until then, though, I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.